Alan's going to talk about what it's really like from the student side, and we're really, really grateful for you doing this. Thank you, Alan.
Okay, thanks, David. Thanks, Steve. Good morning, everyone. My name's Alid, and I'm a fifth-year Peninsula medical student. So I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about what it's like to be a medical student in the Southwest. So in my first 2 years, I started in Plymouth, and although you won't go to Plymouth with the Exeter Medical School, the academic experience will be very similar. So a lot of you will be wondering what PBL and problem-based learning is like. I think there's demonstrations throughout today which I'd really recommend you go and see. But what I can tell you about it is that you meet up as a group, and you have your clinical theme, you talk it over and set your learning outcomes for the week. You have a week to go away and read up, and then you come back to the group, present and teach your peers what you found out. So I think there's two sides to PBL that are really good. One is that in the group sessions, you can develop your communication skills and teamwork. And secondly, medicine's a career of lifelong learning. So from PBL, you can develop your independent study and research skills, which will stay with you for the rest of your life. I really enjoyed in our first and second year, we had a real variety in our timetable. So for example, we had a big emphasis on our clinical and communication skills, and we also had patient contact right from the first week with community placements such as going into general practice, which I found really helpful. And obviously, I'm here as well to talk to you a bit about the social side of being a medical student. We had a very active MedSoc, which is the student society, lots of nights out and socials. I would love to show you some photos of our Freshers' Fortnight, but you must remember I'm speaking here with the Dean present, and I haven't actually graduated yet, so maybe we could do those at the end. And also, there's a big emphasis on sport. I've played football all throughout my 5 years, and there's Exeter University's got a big reputation for sports. There'll be loads to get involved with if you want to keep active. For my third and fourth year, I went down to Cornwall, to Truro, and I really can't recommend that experience enough. Trelisk, which is the hospital in Truro, is a great place to be a student. It's fairly small, which is really good because everyone's very friendly, and a lot of the staff make a lot of time for teaching you as students. There's an awful lot to talk about because we had a real variety of clinical experiences during that time. Two things I just wanted to highlight were in our fourth year, we do a project called Doctors as Teachers, and I think this is something the students get an awful lot from. So what this involves is you study a bit about educational theory, you then build up a teaching portfolio over the year where you can teach your peers and also put together a learning resource. And alongside this, we do a project called Medicine as Art, and I think there will be a continuation of a medical humanities theme with the Exeter University Medical School. So this means that you do a project and you can do something really left field outside medicine. So from dance to still life I did a creative writing project. And I think for ourselves, in terms of our individual development, it was really good to just to consider more holistic realms of things from the humanities side. So that was really good. And if that sounds like the sort of thing you'd be into, I think you'd do really well here. So then coming away from, and then obviously in Cornwall, I've put this picture out. This is a surf trip we organised. I did this in my second year where we all went down to Polzeath on the north coast of Cornwall. Cornwall's a beautiful part of the country, particularly if you like the outdoors. So anything to do with beaches, surfing, lots of walks. So that was really, really good. And finally, for my fifth year, I've come here to Exeter, which, as we've talked through in the presentation earlier, is about sort of building you up towards being an F1, towards being a junior doctor. What I'd encourage you to think about is, when I was at your stage, my aim was very much to get into medical school, and that was my goal. But if you think about it, it is just the first step on your career. So when you pick the university, think about how well will it prepare you, both for being a junior doctor and beyond that. From my experience, my two interests are in medical education and in paediatrics, and the school has given me a lot of support towards moving towards these career aims, both through the academic tutor system as I've gone through, and also through the careers planning service. So for example, with paediatrics, I've been able to choose special study units as I've gone through to get more experience in this field. We also have a careers planning week in our fifth year, which was really helpful for that. And in terms of medical education, I've talked a little already about the teaching portfolio that we all do. And I've also applied to do an academic post for my first junior doctor job, which I was able to get. And that involves doing a PGCE in your F2 year alongside your clinical work. So it's sort of like a fast track for people with an interest in medical education. And again, I'm very grateful to the school for helping me help me realise my career aims and give me a lot of support with those. So to wrap up, in summary, I've really enjoyed my time here, and I'm really happy that I chose to study here. I think it's been really interesting academic experience with a lot of variety, and I feel very prepared for starting as an F1, which is very soon, end of July, which I'll be doing here in Exeter. And just from the social side, it's a beautiful part of the country. I've had a real laugh as I've gone through and made a lot of friends. So thank you for your time. I'll be on hand for anyone who's got any questions, and good luck for your applications. Thank you.